Hello everybody, welcome to this webinar where we're going to talk about a very important topic, being enterprise agreements and what's in it for you. I'm very happy to do this session, not just on my own, but I'm here with my good friend, Kristof Heuninck. Kristof, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the session, and we're going to be talking about enterprise agreements, right?
Yeah, indeed. So very, very important topic at Cisco for the moment as well.
And why is this such an important topic? Well, we see that looking at our customer top priorities for 2023 and beyond, that it's about operational efficiencies and boosting productivity. We see that it's about focus on technology and driving down the cost. And talking about cost, Kristof.
Yeah, I think that's a topic which consists for every customer for the moment. Everything what is best budget forecasting, cost control, better cost control. I think every customer is looking for it as well. Operational and financial efficiencies is down here for now and for the future as well. So that's the reason why we are talking about enterprise agreements, of course.
And I heard about price increases, and I'm pretty sure you've experienced them yourself as well. Even if you go to the supermarket, you see price increases.
Yeah, every time we go everywhere, all price increases. So that's a little bit where we are as well. So the controlling your budgets or so, that's something where we want to talk about it today.
And we are addressing actually a lot more challenges for our customers with enterprise agreements. Increasing complexity. I don't know about you in the beginning of your career. I started working approximately 25 years ago.
Yeah, same like me. I think we are about the same age, I guess.
It seems like it, yeah. We know each other from the hairdresser, by the way. No, it's when you look at the beginning of my career and let's say late 90s, early 2000s, if you would ask an IT manager about why did you design your network the way it is, why did you put in these IP ranges, why did you have those access control lists over there, they could explain in detail why they have certain settings and components over there. If you ask the same question today to an IT manager, what do they say?
I don't know. Never looked at it anymore. I don't want to touch it because it's too complex for touching it.
Don't fix what ain't broken. Yeah. A lot of the IT managers that we see today, they have inherited the network. The network was there when they came there. And that network became bigger and bigger and bigger and more complex. And everything is connected to the internet. Everything is connected to applications. It's all about performance and experience while maintaining security. Complexity all over.
And it's really a lot of information as well. In the past, Cisco networking. Now we don't do only networking. We do everything, and everything is software related. So really the way how we are using software and how we are dealing with it, it's quite important as well. And at our customers, so they are wasting currently a lot of time to have all those renewals, all those administration proposals from partners, ordering licenses. If I don't order it, I don't have any license anymore. And in this time, subscriptions, like Spotify, for example, if you don't pay Spotify, you don't have Spotify. Yeah. Same with a lot of our stuff as well. So I think that's a little bit the reason as well why we are talking about enterprise agreements today.
Good.
Yeah. So what if we could? So that's a little bit my question as well. If I go to customers as well, so what if we could guarantee a price predictability for 3, 5, or even 7 years? Would you be interested? What if we could give you 15% more licenses than you need? You get licenses, but we deliver a little bit on top of it to give you the flexibility. What if we could give you even every year a couple of months of free licenses?
I'm Dutch. Free is a good word, right?
Yeah. So we give a lot of free of those ones. And what if we can optimize your buying experience? I think everything for Cisco Enterprise Agreements, it's your buying experience. It's a buying program to buy more, to buy efficient, and to have that financial and operational efficiency as well. So that's a little bit the questions I'm posing to customers as well about, okay, are you interested to have that discussion on those operational benefits you could get with an enterprise agreement? Yeah. Steve, maybe would be good to know from you as a leader as well. Okay, what do you think about an enterprise agreement? What is it for you?
Yeah, so like you just mentioned, it's a buying program, okay? And I think we summarized it very easily into it's a mechanism or a platform that is easy to buy, easy to consume, and easy to manage. I would say that's really what an enterprise agreement is all about, and simplifying your life from a negotiations perspective, terms and conditions, not just hundreds or thousands of licenses and expiry dates, everything brought back to one contract with one set of terms and conditions and one expiring date.
Yeah, you studied quite well.
I should do something with this, right?
So what is an enterprise agreement? As a summary, it's a buying program. It helps you organize, purchase, consume, manage Cisco technologies across everything what is software and service related. Quite important, enterprise agreement is software related, where you can attach services on top of it.
I was going to say, you can add services to it, right?
Yeah, you can add the services part on it.
Good. Can I also add in partner services?
No, you can't add partner services, so it's Cisco services, but okay, the partner, they have a lot of things to do on top of it.
Exactly.
Right? They can deliver managed services, they can deliver accelerators, whatever they want to have that really premium experience for the customers as well.
Yeah.
It's not only about break and fix. For a partner, it's on top of everything what is break and fix. So it provides also a premium experience for the customer on that one, on the software and on the services part, if they commit to go for Cisco. That's quite important. They give commitment to us, we give commitment back on financial and operational benefits in that one. So that's for me a little bit where we are with what is an enterprise agreement.
Yeah. And so thank you for bringing up this one, because this addresses a big question that I get as well lately. EA 2.0, 3.0, was there a 1.0? We have been in the enterprise agreement business since 2013, but at the beginning it was a really narrowed down part of the portfolio, right? So a lot of our customers and our partners gave feedback on things that they wanted to improve, and they wanted to have more opportunities to add new technologies and add new portfolios to the enterprise agreement. But in EA 2.0, we always had to have this minimum threshold, the minimum 100K total contract value for each individual technology. But as of fiscal year 23, so last year, February 2023, we have EA 3.0 now fully available.
Yeah.
What's the reason why EA 3.0 is so much better?
Yeah, like you said, in the beginning we started with enterprise agreements, and it was only for the big customers. We are a US-based company, so only the big US companies, those were the ones investing in enterprise agreements. So we saw a small take-up of enterprise agreement in the beginning of EAs. With 2.0, we had a slight increase as well, because we had that 100K threshold for each architecture, but still it was for each architecture. Right? So if you would like to have an EA on DNA, you would need a threshold on DNA for data center collaboration or security. Meraki, for example, was totally outside. It was a separate program with Meraki. If we see right now what we have evolved into 3.0, it's one contract. So meaning it's one enterprise agreement, not different architectures anymore, one enterprise agreement, one threshold for the whole enterprise agreement of that $100,000, and we can add suites, portfolios as we want, from the beginning or even when a contract is in place. So currently an EA is, I would say, for every type of customer. If you are a small customer, a big customer, a local customer, an international customer. So we see a large uptake since last year on enterprise agreement 3.0. So that's a little bit where we are right now. Yeah,
because feedback that we sometimes get is enterprise agreements are only for larger enterprises or larger public sector customers. But now that we have the 100K total contract value as the minimum threshold, this can be in a 5-year contract, right?
Yeah. I even have, for example, I have a customer, a city, I'm living in Belgium, so a smaller city in Belgium with 45 switches. So 45 switches in a contract of 5 years can be already in an enterprise agreement. So we can do it already very small up to large customers. You can start small. We have the flexibility in that contract to start small and to grow big. That's a little bit where we are.
And then really having the flexibility of consumption on one side, at the same time lock in the prices on the other side. So you spoke to me about the enterprise agreement 3.0. And tell me what's new, what's innovative about it.
So you see the picture as well of what an enterprise agreement is. Within an enterprise agreement, we don't talk about architectures anymore. In 2.0, we had a different architectures. Now we talk about portfolios. So we have different portfolios. You see networking infrastructure, collaboration, application security, and then the special one, which is services. Why a special one? Because you can't just have an enterprise agreement on services. Services is always linked to the software you buy together with it. So we have, for example, in networking infrastructure, we have different kind of suites. If we take everything what is DNA, we have switching, wireless, SD-WAN, Cisco Spaces. We have full Meraki, which is different as well. Meraki is now fully integrated in that enterprise agreement. We have everything on cloud networking, which was in the past on a data center architecture. Now it's integrated into networking. So you see a lot of different suites in there as well. And you can combine whatever in that enterprise agreement. And you can link it with services. So for example, if you are a customer wanting switching and wireless in your EA, and you want to have that services on hardware and software aligned to that switching, you can do it, but you're not obliged to take wireless, for example. So it's very flexible in the way how you consume or you take your enterprise agreement with software and services on top of it. So if you see the picture, almost every product of Cisco is available in an enterprise agreement. And every tier we have, or tiered license we have, is available in enterprise agreement. If we take DNA or data center networking, we go from essentials towards advantage, and in cloud networking, so data center networking, premier as well. So every tier is available, which was not the case in 2.0. In 2.0, we only had advantage or up, meaning we limited ourselves into selling enterprise agreements to customers as well. Not only selling, but a lot of customers couldn't benefit of it. So the operational benefit they didn't have because they couldn't step into an enterprise agreement.
Because there's a lot of our customers that the way they designed their network is access distribution core, right?
Indeed. Yeah.
And then they have advantage software in the distribution layer and in the core. But because they had essentials in the access layer, we first had to migrate them to advantage in order to get to an enterprise agreement. But now we can.
So every customer having that access layer in essentials, and even eventually move on to advantage. Could be that they are starting with that one on essentials, but maybe there is a project of moving to software-defined access, and they want to have, for example, advantage everywhere. So that's a little bit the overall benefit as well.
Great. So what you're telling me is an enterprise agreement, it's easy to buy, it's easy to consume, and it's easy to manage. That's really the summary of what it is, right?
Yeah. That's a little bit where we are with it.
So I would like to understand better, how does this look in a real world example? Please talk me through this.
Yeah, so this gives a little bit on a deal which I did with a customer in Belgium as well. So he has a lot of current contracts. So here I have listed up all his existing contracts. You see that different end dates, a lot of different end dates, more than 70 different end dates, meaning they get more than 70 proposals also almost every year from partners, maybe from different partners. Different partners say, okay, Mr. Customer, this is your end date of your wireless essentials, 200 licenses. This is a proposal. You need to order those ones. Otherwise, you don't have those licenses anymore. So you see a lot of administration coming to partners, but for sure to customers as well. So with an EA, what do we do is we take all those subscriptions, we take all those quantities, and we put this into a contract with one start date and for sure one end date. So not having those different types anymore, and we can combine it. So in this case, I combined switching, wireless, routing, Cisco Spaces. Meraki was in there as well. You could say, okay, but Meraki, we already have those code termination or that end date. Why should we do it? No, we'll explain afterwards what is it on the financial benefits you get. But here we have Meraki, we have ICE. So everything what could be possibly entered into an enterprise agreement, we did it for a 5-year contract with one end date. So we had a lot of benefits for that customer as well. For example, financial benefits, okay, the price predictability. Everything what is in there has that fixed pricing. Meaning otherwise, you would have an end date, for example, on routing on the 18th of October 2024. Okay, but if the renewal would come up, the customer would get a proposal from the partner based on the list prices of 2024, of that moment. Within an EA, we are having those fixed prices as well as today during the full contract. Is it 3 years? Is it 5 years? Even 7 years contracts we have. So that's a little bit the price predictability where we are on that one.
I have another question. I'm looking at the end dates here, and I see end dates that are actually in the future, like 2024, 2025. Can we still migrate those contracts into a new enterprise agreement, even though the licenses are not expiring yet?
Yeah. So that's a little bit the goal as well. So if we sign an enterprise agreement, we are looking to customers, what are their actual subscriptions? And if we decide on a starting date, for example, 1st of January, we would like to start the EA for 5 years. During that term, we are checking all their active subscriptions. We know what they've paid for. So we give a credit back for those paid licenses. So everything what they paid, they get a credit. So everything what they paid is not lost in an EA, and we are putting everything into one contract as well.
Great. Wow. All right. I'm sold.
But some other benefits as well. If you go a little bit back on this one. Right? So, okay, you have the price predictability. You have the true forward. Right? Don't know if you know a little bit about true forward or you already heard about true up. So Microsoft, for example, they talk about true up. We have a true forward.
So please explain this to me. What's the difference?
Yeah. So true forward means that every year we have an anniversary date of an EA. We have a 5-year contract. We start the 1st of January. So the next true forward date is the 31st of December next year. At that moment, we are checking the consumption of that customer. So that's a little bit the true forward moment. I'll explain it over here as well. So we have one contract end date, we decided, and every year we will put a true forward in place, so the anniversary date.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the beginning, we decide how many quantities a customer needs, what is the list price of that moment, minus the discount. We put in this case for 60 months. That's the initial EA which we sign. They can pay prepaid, or we can do it with Cisco Capital. So a yearly payment as well.
Okay, and this can also be done in local currency, right?
Yeah, indeed. Okay, it's up to the partner as well. Together with the partner, we are putting proposals in place because EAs, we are always transacting through partners as well.
Great.
So we have the true forward momentums every year. So I will check, okay, what is the overconsumption of a customer? Example 1. They have 10 licenses spent more, so the list price is fixed because we know them from the beginning. Yeah, and they entered those switches, for example, or those licenses in month 7. Yeah, what do? We are only looking at moment of true forward. What is happening?
My Dutch heart is beating faster now again.
I know
free of charge.
Yeah. I know you're in favor of free of charge, but yeah. And at the moment of true forward, you need to pay them, of course. And you need to pay them until the end of the contract, meaning we calculate it. The first example, those 10 licenses times 48, because that's 48 months left in the contract.
Yeah, because this is the big differentiator with competitors that do a true op, right? They would charge for this red period as well.
Yeah. You pay at the moment of that true up.
Gotcha.
You pay at that moment, but you still pay as a moment of you used it. In this case, not. So everything what you used before the true forward is free of charge.
All right.
Yeah?
Wow.
So okay, there are some limitations where we'll explain maybe in other videos, but there are some limitations on that one. But in this case, free of charge is really over there.
Amazing.
So a couple of months over there. Second example, those 20 licenses, it's maybe the day after the true forward. Switches have been delivered. You can use those licenses. You don't pay them until moment of true forward too. Great. And exactly over there, it will be calculated with the list price from the beginning times 36, because we still have 36 months left in our EA.
Wow.
Right? So that's the mechanism of having that true forward, of having those fixed prices into play.
All right.
Secondly, customers can also do license generation. For example, a switch needs to be delivered with a license. It's mandatory. So there we don't have a flexibility of entering that license. For example, on an access point, you don't need to buy a license with an access point. You can opt out for the license, and you can generate your license yourself. So you can have that flexibility when you generate that license. In this case, might be that you have 11 months and 30 days free licenses. Could be. And we calculate exactly the same moment through 403 times 24 because that's still left in your contract. So that's the on-demand license generation, which is in a management platform as well. As a customer, you get
one management platform
to manage your licenses, to do license migration, license generation. You can see who entered licenses, reporting, everything is in there as well.
So that's easy to consume and easy to manage.
That's easy to consume, easy to manage in that one. Quite important, last year is free of charge anyway. So if you enter licenses in your EA, you'll never pay it. So that's quite important and impressive. And it's not because you're entering the end date of the EA that will charge you back of the 12 months of licenses you used. No, at that moment we are going into discussion with our customers. Are you moving into a new enterprise agreement, or are you moving back, for example, to our traditional licensing, which we called a la carte, for example?
Gotcha.
Could be. But in many cases, or in most cases, customers are moving into the enterprise agreement.
Yeah, they see the benefits.
It's financial and operational benefits in an EA, so it's a no-brainer to extend it, of course. What I explained on the install base credit, so at the moment, from the start date, we are looking what are the existing subscriptions. We take it back as a credit in your enterprise agreement. So everything what you've paid is not lost on that one.
Great.
Another free topic, Steven, quite important for you.
I'm listening.
Yeah, so you get 15% of free licenses on collaboration and security as well. We call it growth allowance.
So your umbrella, your WebEx.
For example, if you enter umbrella, you have 1,000 licenses of umbrella. You buy them, you get 1,150 licenses, and you never pay those 150. You can use them until the end of the contract. Only if you go over it, for example, to 1,500. We calculate the difference, and you pay 350 licenses with the list price we discussed at the beginning of the contract.
Well, I hope you're going to go to 1,500 because that means that your business is growing and you're successful, right?
Yeah, indeed. And that's the flexibility. You can generate your license at a moment you're
perfect.
So discussed the license management, so the portal you get to manage all those licenses and to see what is your consumption, what is your overconsumption, your underconsumption. Everything is linked to that portal as well.
Great.
So that's a little bit the benefits of that enterprise agreement. Okay. So these list up a little bit the ones I've told you. We have a couple of them, of course. So. Don't know if you heard about multi-suite discount, multi-solution discount.
You keep getting my attention. Discount, savings. I'm in.
Yeah, I went on a moment to a customer and we explained everything on what is the benefit of an EA. And afterwards, they called my boss and they asked my boss, "Where's the catch?" Because one of your people came to me and they explained an enterprise agreement. And where's the catch? What did I miss? Because it looks too good as well.
Too good to be true.
Too good to be true. But it's a little bit like this. So you as a customer give a commitment of going in see with Cisco and that one, and we give a commitment back on the financial and operational benefits. So the buy more, save more is all about if you buy more, we will have better list prices for you as well. So we will lower the list prices on the products you have a commitment with Cisco in that one. Reason as well for us, it's also a hassle. Meaning all those renewals, if we can take it in one contract as well, we have a benefit from Cisco as well. So we have both interest on doing this one as well. So the buy more, save more is if you buy more suites within your enterprise agreement, you can have that one. Value shift, meaning we check what is overconsumed and what is underconsumed. And at the moment of True Forward, we are calculating those differences. So it might be that you have an overconsumption of 9,300 switches, but an underconsumption of 9,200. We'll calculate the value of both, so we can shift the value from one other to another.
So you can move one license to another.
It's not really moving, but we are using the value you've paid for one license and we are moving it to another. So the value
investment protection.
Everything you've paid for an EA within your EA is not lost. Could be, we also have that mechanism which is called license migration, where you migrate a 3850 license towards a 9300 license. Is it possible? Technically, no. But within EA, we take the value which is left for the 3850 and we move that value to an overconsumed 9300 switch.
Wow.
Which is not possible in traditional licenses a la carte. If you decommission a switch and your license or your subscription is still left for 1 year, you lose 1 year of money, which is not the case in enterprise agreements.
Great.
So value shift, I think that's a quite important one on this one. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So show me, how does that work? What is this value shift? It's not entirely clear. All right, you have a
So I have a small, and it's not only so we have value shift, we call it within the suite itself. So for example, on switching, every switch, if there are overconsumption, underconsumption, we do the calculation, and that's where we were in the beginning. So for 2.0, for example, we had it within the same suite.
But if I look at this picture here, I understand well that you can move the value of Meraki licenses to DNA and vice versa?
Yeah, so that's quite impressive as well, meaning that it's available in 3.0, meaning that your initial purchase of your EA must consist out of Meraki and DNA at the same moment.
Okay.
Why? Because, for example, you as a customer, you may decide, I have Meraki and I have Meraki for all my remote sites, and I have DNA for my main site.
Yeah.
But maybe for my headquarters. So maybe in the future, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Or am I gonna invest more in Meraki or on DNA? Or now with the power of the platform, meaning you could also use Meraki dashboard for Catalyst switches. So it's a little bit the same system in that one. So meaning that if you have an overconsumption on Meraki and, for example, an underconsumption on DNA, we do that value shift as well. So we have value shift on different platforms, which is really the power of the platform as well, which we want to play with software.
And then again, one contract, locking in your pricing, being able to do value shifting and the benefits of true forwarding.
So that's where we are going with enterprise agreements. That's the charm of the platform as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So to conclude, what is the last and certainly not the least one is you can do spread payments as well, because if we discuss with customers on having that enterprise agreement, you need to take that install base as well. Might be your renewals were planned for next year or the year after. Within EA, we'll take it now for the next 5 years. Even we give you a credit. The budget needs to be there to fulfill it. So with Cisco EA Pay, you can do that spread payment as well. So having that annual payment over time within
and again, in local currency, which was a big ask from both our customers and our partners. So can you buy in euros or can you buy in Danish krone with EA Pay? Yes, you can.
Yeah, indeed. So I think these list up the main benefits of an enterprise agreement. With the Cisco people, we can go in detail on every step. And there is much more, of course, of benefits on that one. So maybe we discussed the beginning of EA, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. So a little bit for the people who already have an EA 2.0. What are the differences between
because EA 3.0 is, let's be honest, the best invention since sliced bread. Everyone knows that. But you're on EA 2.0. Why should you consider 3.0? What's the reason to go?
And 2.0 is still there, and for a couple of cornerstone cases, it's still active. But we see the shift towards 3.0 almost 95% of our customers are moving to 3.0 because of that flexibility, different license tiers or whatever. So, but if I compare a little bit 2.0, 3.0, so what is the same as 2.0? That contract end date, the way how we are doing true forward, that license generation, the platform using it, the first 6 months we can't go over the 105%. Customer can always grow in their own pace, but might be that we are doing an early true forward, which is correct, of course. So that's the same. What is the difference or the improvements on that one? We talked about fixed pricing.
Yeah, not to exceed pricing.
It's a not to exceed pricing. And it's a slightly different approach because fixed pricing means it's fixed for the complete term. Not to exceed is, okay, if the prices go down of the normal license, the price of your EA will go down as well.
Wow.
So I'm working 10 years at Cisco, not that I saw a lot of price decreases, but it can happen, of course, because we are entering a new tier model, for example, and the tier you want to order has a slightly price decrease. Could be. We have a lower threshold. Right? We talked about the different architectures.
Yeah, because in the past you needed to make the 100K total contract value, right?
For each architecture.
Exactly. And now we can do 50K plus 50K, making 100K total contract value.
Yeah.
That's
so
what you mean?
You can combine different suites together as long as you have $100,000. We call it in a full commit, so meaning you are committing to Cisco to go enterprise-wide for it, and then you get financial and operational benefits in that one. So we lower the threshold overall for that EA. Once you step in, you can easily add different kind of suites as well. In the past, it wasn't possible. So in the past, it would be you want to enter an enterprise agreement with switching and wireless, and you would like to enter data center networking. I'm sorry, you need to have $100,000 for data center networking itself. Now you can easily enter into an enterprise agreement. So we have different license types, different commit types, we call it, but not going into detail.
And with the Essentials license that we spoke about.
Yeah, that's the reason why we see a large uptake of enterprise agreements on that one.
I see one improvement that I don't see on this slide, but I think it's a very important one as well. With EA 3.0, it's now available through all the partners. It's also available through the two-tier partners.
Yeah, indeed. In the past it was really only the partners with really advantage certification and whatever. Now partners do still need certification to support our customers, of course, but we slightly have different approaches as well. We have our tier 1 partners, they need to have those advantage certifications. Two-tier partners, they can have it. If they don't have it, they are using our distribution model as well. And our distribution people, they have certifications which can be used by the tier 2. So the goal is to have better support for our customers on delivering that experience towards for enterprise agreement. That's a little bit the thing. So those are the differences between 2.0, 3.0 in that.
Wow.
So yeah.
So okay. Now the customer has an enterprise agreement. They have it. Great, congratulations. And they're going to buy something new. How does it work?
So that's always the question I get. So I have an EA and what now? What do I need to buy another switch? What is the way how to consume it or to buy it? So if you buy, for example, a switch, mandatory, there is a license needed. So you need to buy that license. So on the switch, you get a proposal from your partner. It's a regular discount. You have the normal net price. The license needs to be on there, but the license you don't pay it at that moment. So here it's seen as 100% discount, BPA. What is it? It's buying process mechanism. So meaning the partner enters a quote at Cisco. We see that the customer has an enterprise agreement. We give that 100% discount automatically in there. So we deliver the switch. Once the switch is delivered, the license is going into their smart account. Once it's going
because when the customer has an enterprise agreement, they have a smart account that is associated. Good. All right.
And every customer with a subscription with DNA, they need to have a smart account. That's the central piece of our licensing model as well. But we'll enter that license into the smart account. We'll enter it into the EA Workspace, which is a platform. So the ease to manage. And then it goes into the true forward. So the yearly true forward, we will have it. We'll notify the partner that there is a true forward. We'll give a proposal to the partner. The partner needs to give a proposal to the customer. So that's the flow, the process flow of having that enterprise agreement.
So I want to understand. So customer is going to buy a new switch, and the new switch has a mandatory license. But they already have an EA in place. So even though they will buy the new switch with the mandatory license, they get 100% discount on the particular license, and the license is available in the smart account. Correct?
Yeah. So for example, if the switch is delivered the day after the True Forward, they get 11 months and 30 days of free licenses on that one. And we will notify them, we will invoice them at moment of True Forward. So this is because there is a mandatory license needed in every switch. We have also examples where you don't need a license attached to the hardware you buy. For example, an access point. An access point, you can buy it with a license, and then it's example one. If you don't buy it, if you don't buy a license, you do DNA opt-out, for example, there is no license included. Might be that the customer is using that access point as a spare part, could be. Or afterwards they say, okay, no, we have 1,000 access point licenses in production, we need to go to 1,100. So they can generate themselves in the portal 100 extra licenses.
In the EA workspace.
In the EA workspace. So that's the access point. We also have, for example, firewalls. You can have the standard firewall, but you can also have the more advanced license. You don't need to buy together with the firewall. You can do it afterwards. So that's the third example. Once you generate a license in your enterprise agreement, exactly the same, it will go into your smart account. It will go into your enterprise agreement, and it will go to True Forward, to the partner, to the customer. And a lot of those questions I get, but I'm an international customer, and I'm buying local to local. So I buy my enterprise agreement with one of the partners, which covers worldwide enterprise agreement. But we are in Europe. I also have a department in the US. What do? Do I need to also buy that one to this partner? No, it's a quite flexible model as well. Meaning you can buy whatever switch or access point or hardware together with a license towards whatever partner, and everything is going to the True Forward in the same way to the partner who signed up for the enterprise agreement. So you have a centralized buying of everything what is software, but you can have a decentralized buying on all the other ones. So that's a little bit the idea of when an EA is in place, how is it going? But here we help our customers as well. Once a customer signs up for an enterprise agreement, we are doing an onboarding session with a team, and we explain how you can generate licenses, how you can do all this kind of stuff in a general way. So amazing. I hope I convinced you. I convinced a lot of customers on that one.
You sold it to me already 20 minutes ago. So with that, to summarize it a little bit, and everything that we've learned so far, easy to buy. Having the possibility to predict how much you're going to spend based on your 3 years, 5 years, or even 7 years contract, locking in the prices, having the ability to access the software when you need it, and getting the value and being able to actually shift the value as well, giving you investment protection. Making sure that you consume what you've bought, because you have everything available in your EA workspace, and you can actually see who generated the licenses, when, and that you are actually using what you have invested in. And then when there's new software capabilities, and we all know that sometimes software updates give you very interesting new features, being able to access that and deploy it when you need it, so on demand. That's the easy to consume part. And then lastly, the easy to manage, having one workspace where you see all your licenses, that is everything co-terminated into one end date with one set of terms and conditions, providing you with an overall holistic entitlement management platform.
I think you explained it quite well. What is an EA all about?
Well, I'm actually just listening to you, so you did a great job. So with that, Kristof, I totally understand everything now. I hope our audience does as well. Let's hope.
And if not, they can always ask.
Well, let's do some Q&A now,
okay.
Right?
Yeah, cool.
All right, let's open the floor. Questions and answers. Feel free to ask any question. If it's a very easy question, I'll take it. If it's difficult, I'm going to direct it to Kristof.
Yeah, thank you.